Namaste. My salutations to all of you. Welcome to the Gita Odyssey live session in our first course, which is the first step into Bhagavad Gita. This is the 8th lesson. In the last few sessions, we covered the first 4 shlokas of the Gita Dhyanam. The first shloka of the Gita Dhyanam offers salutations to Bhagavad Gita, portraying her as a divine, compassionate spiritual mother. The second shloka of the Gita Dhyanam talked about offered salutations to Maharshi Vyasa, whose vast intellect created this brilliant epic called Mahabharata. He compiled the Vedas and put Bhagavad Gita in the midst of Mahabharata. So the second shloka is a salutations to Maharshi Vyasa. And the third shloka and the fourth shloka, third shloka is an offering or a salutations to Bhagavan Krishna, who composed the Bhagavad Gita. Second shloka is Vyasa, who is the compiler of the Bhagavad Gita. The third shloka is about Bhagavan Krishna, salutations to Bhagavan Krishna. We talked about the two aspects of the Bhagavan Krishna. In one hand, he is showing Jnana Mudra, which is the symbol of knowledge. And the other hand, he holds a whip, which shows the activity in the world outside. So combining that action and knowledge, that presents a unique model for all of us. And also we have seen that Bhagavan Krishna's nature, like those who surrender to him means those who follows his teaching, those who get aligned with his teaching, he is like a parijata. Parijata means what? A wish-fulfilling tree, mythological tree. So Krishna is compared like a parijata. So those who get aligned with his teaching, definitely victory, success is guaranteed. So that is the third shloka. And the fourth shloka talked about the relationship between Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. Essentially, we have seen that the Bhagavad Gita is a summary of the Upanishads. So the Upanishads is compared like a cow, and the milk of that cow, the most important product of that cow, which is the milk, is Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna is presented as a milkman who extracted this milk of Bhagavad Gita using the calf Arjuna and sharing that milk along with the calf to the entire humanity. So this is what the 4 shlokas we have discussed. If you want to go back, please go back to our YouTube channel or Spotify. You can listen to that. And now let's go to the next shloka, which is shloka number 5.
Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru.
This shloka, the essence of this shloka is Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. That is the essence of this shloka. Vande means salutations. To whom? Krishna. And what is the nature of that Krishna? Jagadguru. Jagadguru means the teacher for the entire universe. He is not just teacher for a particular sect. He is not a teacher for a particular religion. His teaching is applicable to the entire universe. So I offer my salutations to Bhagavan Krishna, who is the teacher of the entire universe. So Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. And the first 3 lines are attributes of that Krishna. What are the attributes? Vasudeva Sudam Devam. Krishna is the son of Vasudeva. And Kamsa Chanura Mardanam, the destroyer of Kamsa and Chanura. Kamsa, you know, right? He was a dictator ruler in ancient India who controlled his kingdom by force, and he was doing a lot of adharmic, unethical things in that country. And Chanura was a wrestler of Kamsa, And both were symbolizing the negative tendencies or the inner demonic tendencies, and Krishna destroyed them. So he is the son of Vasudeva. He is the destroyer of Kamsa and Chanura, thereby representing all the negative tendencies in our mind. And then Devaki Paramanandam. Paramanandam means supreme joy to Devaki. Devaki is his mother, but he is a Paramanandam for the entire universe. That is what his name also indicates, Krishna. And to that Krishna, the Paramanandam Krishna, to that Krishna, I offer salutations. So once again, Krishnam Vande, that is the theme. Salutations to Krishna. So we have seen salutations to Krishna in Shloka 3, and Shloka 5 also continue to offer salutation to Krishna. This is a brilliant verse to be remembered as a prayer. So, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. My salutations to that Krishna, who is the teacher of the entire universe, who is the son of Vasudeva, who destroyed Kamsa and Chanura, thereby all the demonic tendencies. And Devaki Paramanandam, he is a supreme joy of Devaki and the entire humanity. To that Krishna, I salute. So this is a brilliant prayer offering salutations to Bhagavan Krishna. So let's continue to see the details. So the first one is Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishna, the universal teacher. He is revered as Jagat Guru. Jagat means the whole universe. Guru means teacher. He is the teacher of the entire universe. See, the title Jagat Guru, Shankaracharya is known as Jagat Guru. Narayana Guru is known as Jagat Guru. So there are people who gets a title. Usually this title is earned because his message or her message should be applicable across all the time and to all the people. I cannot call somebody as a Jagat Guru if his teaching is applicable only to Hindus, only to Indians, only to males, only to Brahmins, only to Kshatriyas. Not at all. His teaching should be applicable. His teaching should be for the entire humanity. Forget about the humanity, even extends the humanity. So if there is a teacher who is all-inclusive, whose teaching is applicable to the entire universe, that teacher is known as Jagat Guru. And Krishna's teaching, you will see when you will go to verse by verse of the Bhagavad Gita, it is relevant, it is addressed, it considered every aspects of the humanity. It addresses the fundamental human challenges. So that is why Krishna is called as Jagat Guru. This status is not next, meaning one more thing is that you may say that, okay, Krishna is not accepted by the entire humanity as the teacher. Some people don't even accept him. For them, Jesus might be the teacher. For some people, Allah might be the teacher. That is not the point. He may or may not be accepted by the whole universe, but his teachings are not sectarian. His teachings are inclusive, and his teaching is practical and applicable to the entire humanity. This is what is Jagat Guru. Nowadays, anybody and everybody can use this title, but please understand that only a few people are qualified for this title, because people can use this title, as I said, but they may not live up to that value. If at all a little bit of sectarianism, if at all something lack of inclusivity is in their teaching, they are not qualified as universal teacher. But beyond doubt, Krishna's teaching is universal, and thereby he is a Jagat Guru, a teacher for the entire universe, entire cosmos. That is the first point. The next one is, he is the vanquisher of all the negative forces, all the demonic asuric forces. So Krishna, story-wise, Krishna defeats the demons like Kamsa and Chanura. It represents who is an Asura. The Asura means that tendencies which takes us away from the divinity. The Asuras are within us. We already talked about that. We talked about Hiranyakashipu. We talked about Ravana. We talked about Kumbhakarna. All these are in my own mind. The tendencies, Hiranyaksha means the one who always, when the tendency that drags my attention always to material prosperity alone, the tendencies that takes my effort, even by doing shortcut, even by taking adharmic means only to material wealth, that is Hiranyaksha. So that asuric tendencies are in me. The 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is a brilliant exposition of what exactly are the inner enemies I need to face and how can I eradicate. So Krishna led that by example. By symbolically destroying Kamsa and Chanura, he eradicated the social values. It is the responsible for all as social person, you need to fight. You need to make sure that you are working for the harmony in the society. That is what it indicates. This verse, Kamsa Chanura Mardanam, indicates his role as a preserver of the universal harmony by establishing dharma. So the victory over Kamsa and Chanura symbolizes the ongoing battle against the inner struggle and the negative tendencies in my mind. Please note that the weapon used by Krishna is known as Sudarshana. Sudarshana. It means the noble vision. So how these demonic tendencies or these negative tendencies or these asuric tendencies are destroyed, it is using the Sudarshana chakra by providing the right vision about themselves, right vision about the world, right vision about the art of living. And that is how he transformed that. The Asura got killed and the Deva got born there. There is no physical killing here. It is through a symbolic transition of that individual. That is why he is the vanquisher of the vicious. The third one is Paramanandam. Meaning it is said that Devaki Paramanandam, he is the joy of his mothers, his family, and the entire universe. He is not just limited to family. A lot of people are good to family, but they are really Rakshasas to the world outside. No, Krishna is bringing joy to the family, and he said he brings Paramananda to the entire universe. He is depicted as the son of Vasudeva and the joy of Devaki, and he was a joyful, he provided a lot of great experience to his parents. Along with the parents, he was the source of happiness to everyone. The word Krishna itself, it came from the root, Karshayati iti Krishna. That is the root. It means Karshayati iti Krishna. That which attracts joy, meaning the attention of everybody. That which attracts everything unto him. That is his name itself, right? So what exactly? It is the happiness. It is the contentment is that attracts everybody, right? Each one of us work hard for what? Eventually it is for the happiness. Some may work hard for the power. Why? Because the power makes them happy. Some may want to take a vacation. Why? Because that vacation experience make them happy. So ultimately, all of us are seeking happiness. And Krishna is the source of happiness, Paramanandam. And that Krishna attracts the entire universe unto him because he is the source of supreme happiness. That is why he is known as all attractive. You can see the entire universe get attracted to him. So imagine if the divinity can be given a form. What a beautiful form this is, right? If the Ishvara or the universal intelligence of the universe, human, meaning we are giving different forms for our way of relating with that universal intelligence. And if that universal intelligence can be given a form, what a beautiful form, Krishna, because it is the source of happiness, Paramanandam. And he is the source of meaning he is the Jagat Guru, he is the teacher of the entire universe. That is what it is. So this is what is beautifully expressed in the Ashtakam called Mathurashtakam by Vallabhacharya. You all might have heard. Athuram, Atharam, Mathuram, Vatanam, Madhuram. That shloka. So it means his lips are sweet, his garlands is sweet, his face is sweet, his laughter is sweet, his heart is sweet, his stride is sweet, and Mathuradipate Athuram Matripam. The Lord of all sweetness is nothing but sweet. Everything about Krishna is sweet. Everything about Krishna is joy. Everything about Krishna is happiness. As I said, like, if the divine can be given a form, what a beautiful form is this, Lord Krishna. And a lot of literature, lot of songs, lot of dramas, lot of stories came out of this one aspect, the devotion aspect of Krishna. Every one of us can connect it with this form of the Ishvara. This is brilliant. And to that Ishvara, I salute. So let's listen to, before we listen to that quote, let's listen to the quote. So it tells Krishna's timeless teaching, when rightly understood and applied, it blesses the whole of humanity with everlasting wisdom and perpetual joy. This is the reflection. So before we go further, let me ask Avanti to talk or give her insight on this sloka.
Namaskar. So just one or two things that I would like to throw a little bit more light on is first and foremost this concept of Jagat Guru. So we have to understand that, and Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita as well, that from time immemorial, there have been avatars, yuge yuge, there have been avatars in the world that have come and given humanity life transforming re-establish teachings that re-establish righteousness within the world. So when we look at the Bhagavad Gita, especially if this is the first time you're coming in contact, you might fall prey to the myths or the interpretations that, oh, only Krishna is the Jagat Guru. So we need to move our focus from the teacher to the teachings. And generally, through my own experience, I feel I really need to say this, is that whatever teacher you come in contact with, no matter how fantastic, no matter how revered, how knowledgeable, always stick to the teachings, because those teachings are what qualify ultimately as Jagat Guru, which are the same. And like we see in this particular verse or in this particular shloka, Kansa Chanura Mardanam, as Rajesh beautifully explained, that Krishna over here is depicted as the slayer or the annihilator of these demons, which personify nothing but our own negative tendencies. So these teachings that we revere as Jagat Guru, as we revere as the universal tenets to live a life of consequence in this world and eventually transcend, these teachings are meant to annihilate those asuric, demonic qualities within us. And it is quite impossible just at surface value to identify those qualities within us. But that is the beauty of the Bhagavad Gita. Like Rajesh mentioned already, chapter 16 does a thorough bifurcation of the divine qualities and the asuric qualities. So when we come to that, we will understand that more clearly. But even until then, while we go through these verses, we will start understanding what is divine and what is demonic. Another thing that I want to point out too is that the entire all of the Shastras, but especially the Bhagavad Gita, since we are studying it, is replete with pointers and pointers of the qualities of the divine. What are the qualities of a divine? There's no way to describe the divine, because you can only understand the divine when you become the divine, when you fully manifest the divine from within you. But until then, there are pointers and pointers to say, unborn, eternal, full bliss, full knowledge, full beauty, all of this. Exactly like how we've studied in this shloka. The point is not to personify an idol. Yes, that is our starting point. It is not to personify an idol in front of us and say these qualities belong to this idol. And these qualities is what I should be constantly in worship of, in reverence of. No, because Advaita Vedanta says, Tattvamasi, you are that. So what is our job then with these qualities that are portrayed through these beautiful poetic shlokas? Is to start gleaning those qualities within us, to start removing the obstacles that magnify or manifest those qualities from within us. That is the point of such shlokas. So it is one thing to actually look at the form of Krishna and be lost in that. But like we said, we want to make these classes practical. Where is it going to take us in the long run? So that is one of the things that I really wanted to point out. Another thing I wanted to point out was when Krishna is described as the joy of Devaki, his own mother, and on the other hand, immediately in the same breath, he is described as the joy of the world. That's again not something that we have to admire in Krishna. That is something that we have to manifest within ourselves. My teacher gave me a beautiful statement that I grappled to my soul, is let your home be the center of your affection, not the boundary of your affection. So while we are very much established in our homes and in our families, of course we are, hopefully we are the joy and the life of our families. Pray that we are not. But if we are the joy and the light of our families, we should not just restrict that to our own families, to our own people, to feel the love that we feel for our mother, for any mother that passes our way, or to feel the love for another child as much as you would feel for your own child. These are the qualities that Krishna personified, and these are the qualities that we are encouraged to manifest from within us. It is only then that these verses, which can be verses of deep contemplation and deep meditation, will start transforming our inner being to reflect that divinity, which at the moment we are seeing outside in an idol, in a god, in whatever else we worship. But it all boils down to it being us. That is the main tenet of Advaita Vedanta. So every time you start thinking on these lines, on this verse, just start putting it back into yourself. If I am that, how do I manifest all of these qualities? Thank you.
Thank you, Avanti. As she said, these are shlokas for meditation. You can take each one of these shloka and deeply contemplate upon the meaning. And that is going to be a very powerful spiritual practice. So shloka 5, we talked about the radiance of Krishna, the universal teacher. We saw him as the universal teacher. His teachings addresses the fundamental human concerns, completely inclusive, nothing exclusive. There is nobody in this world is excluded or do not have a right unto his teaching. It is an asset of the entire humanity, not limited to a particular sect. And that is why he is known as Jagat Guru. And he eradicates the social evils, wrongdoings, internally and externally. He brings happiness to his family and extend that to the entire universe. That is another point. And he is the true source of happiness because the very name Krishna is completely that he who attracts the entire universe unto him. Karshayati iti Krishna. So please contemplate upon the meaning. It is beautiful. This is a lovely shloka of the Gita Dhyanam. So let's continue. Let's go to shloka 6, a shloka with a lot of similes. So let's listen.
Bhishma Drona Tada Jayadratha Jala Gandhara Milotmala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velagula Ashwadhama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vardini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rana नदी कैवर्तकः केशवः.
Another brilliant shloka with lot of similes. So this shloka paints the picture of Krishna as a boatman who helps us to cross the river of life. So this is presented in a canvas of the Mahabharata battle. So the entire Mahabharata battle is presented as a river, Rana Nadi. So this Rana Nadi or this battle, crossing this battle is not easy because everywhere there is obstacles. Bhishma and Drona were the mighty banks of this river. Jayadratha is the waters that flows. Shakuni emerges as a blue lotus which confuses the traveler and traps him. And Shalya is represented as a shark. Kripa represents as the undercurrent. Karna is the powerful waves that pull the boats down. Ashwathama and Vikarna are the killing whales. And Duryodhana is the whirlpool. And through this very difficult river, the Pandavas were able to cross this river because of a skillful navigator, a skillful boatman who is Krishna. So the whole idea is all these characters represented as the various mighty soldiers in the Kaurava army, and meaning crossing that Mahabharata battle or winning that Mahabharata battle was impossible for the Pandavas because from a story perspective, Pandavas were only 5 people and Kauravas were 101. And in terms of army, Kauravas had 12 Akshauhinis and Pandavas had only 6 Akshauhinis. So then there are several challenges because if you really look at the mighty warriors in the Kaurava forces, Pandavas was not even a match for the entire Kaurava. But still, Pandavas were able to win that battle. Because why? Because they hold on to Krishna. It doesn't mean that they hold on to the physical Krishna, Krishna Ji. They hold on to the principle set forth by the Krishna. So if you align the teachings of Krishna, our own life is like a very difficult river to cross. The life is not easy. It will have waves, it will have whirlpools, it will have confusing lilies, it will have sharks. Everything is there. It's crossing the river is not easy. There will be challenges every day in our life, and we need a skillful navigator to lead our life. And Krishna and his teaching, we can hold on to that. So this is the idea of this sloka. So this is again beautiful poetry. So let's try to see the details. So the whole idea of the shloka, as we discussed, it is Krishna is presented as Kaivartakaha. Kaivartaha means it's a boatman. The one who can skillfully navigate boat in turbulent waters is known as Kaivartaka. So Lord Krishna is presented as that skillful boatman who can navigate the boat through the challenges of the life. So the journey of the life can be smoothly navigated. The journey of the life, please understand that it won't be without struggles. It won't be without problems. If I think that there will be a tomorrow without any problem, that's only an imagination. There will be problems tomorrow. And as we go further, meaning move along our life, the challenges can be more. Health issues, financial issues, relationship issues, family issues, social issues, political issues. All these issues are going to come and it is going to be there always. How do we navigate through that life effectively and efficiently? And that is what is shown by the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is not just a spiritual book which you need to read only on a Sunday and forget it every other day. No, This is something that guides us every moment. How do I do my job? How do I relate with other people? How do I engage with my family? Everything is taught. How to live my life. That is what is Krishna showed. And that is why when Krishna is our navigator, we can navigate through any hardships that the life presents. And this has shown again and again. So that is what the idea of this shloka. Please don't carried away by the Mahabharata, right? So we already talked about that. The context versus message. A lot of people, what they do, they just talk about Bhishma, Drona, Arjuna, but they don't try to relate the Gita with themselves. So my request to all of you is, while this is presented in the canvas of Mahabharata, it is talking about us, our own life. So have Krishna as our own Kaivartaka, our own boatman. That is the idea of this shloka. So, what is the nature of this Mahabharata war? This crossing the Mahabharata war was presented like a very perilous, very hard river or dangerous river with a lot of uncertainties and dangers in every aspect, every aspect of that, every bits and pieces of that river. So crossing that battle of river was not easy for Pandavas because the mighty Bhishma and Drona were the river banks. Jayadratha, another character, treacherous character who killed Abhimanyu, he is presented as the waters of the river. It is not clean. It is very easy to navigate. So that Jayadratha is presented like that. Shakuni, who is the cause of all these game of dice, and he is presented as a deceptive blue lily. It is capable of misleading the navigator. So that is exactly what Shakuni did in the Mahabharata story. Shalya is presented like a shark. Like Karna, who was the greatest warrior. He was capable of facing Arjuna. But what Shalya did, he destroyed his confidence. So Shalya was himself was a mighty warrior, and that is a challenge to face, because later point of time Shalya took the lead of the Mahabharata Kaurava army, and it was very difficult. Even Arjuna could not defeat him. So he was that much capable of that army. Finally, Yudhishthira has to destroy him, and then Kripa was like the undercurrent, which is another dangerous. Karna was the breakers. Ashwatthama and Vikarna were the killer whales, and finally the Duryodhana is presented as the whirlpool of chaos. So that is not important. The characters are not important. The story is not important. Only try to imagine that navigating the life is not easy. There are dangers, there are challenges, there are uncertainties, there are blind spots everywhere, and we need a powerful navigator to guide our journey. And Krishna's teaching, Bhagavad Gita, if you take Bhagavad Gita as your roadmap, you will be able to navigate through that life. History has shown this again and again. And this is not a post-mortem reward. We are not telling you that, okay, study Bhagavad Gita, you will get the benefit when you go to heaven. No, you are going to see that change here and now. That is the role of Krishna, the navigator. And one more thing is that life often presents treacheries, dangerous situation, uncertainty, and everything. And when we caught up in these situations, because every human being, like if we are a human being, we find it difficult. At some point in our life, we feel completely helpless. You know that the challenges are pulling me down. That situation, I'm sure each one of us have experienced. Helpless, being cornered, being cheated, being unfair to us. This is what the life presents to us many times. And that is known as Artha Purushaha. So the people who is perplexed or confused or feeling helpless in front of the life situation, there is a technical term in our scriptures known as Artha Purushaha. So this meaning the Artha signifies the one who do not know how to escape when all the doors are closed. That is what he feels. But Krishna's teaching possesses the power to rescue those people who feel that helplessness. When you feel that all the doors are closed, know that no, that is not true. Even when you think it seems like all the doors are closed, it is essential to remember that there is always a way out, and that is Krishna's teaching. When I say Krishna's teaching, don't think that it is Krishna, it is Bhagavan's teaching. Whatever way you call that Bhagavan, whether it is Allah or Father in heaven or Krishna or Shiva or Ayyappa or Muruga, it doesn't matter. The grace of the God, that is that grace you can hold on, and you will be able to escape. You will be able to find a solution for your problem. And this is what is the nature of the Ishvara. And because of this, the Bhagavan or Krishna or the Bhagavan, when I say Krishna, it indicates that Bhagavan. It is not limited in a very sectarian way. That name encompasses the entire forms of the Ishvara. So that is why the Bhagavan is known as Artra Trana Parayan, the one, the protector of the helpless. So that is what is another nature highlighted in this shloka. And what happens? Actually, there is a beautiful point we wanted to highlight. See, the grace and the devotion is not just limited to the Hindu culture. It is, you can see that in every culture of the universe. So in 1964, Mary Stevenson, like an evangelist, she had to go through a lot of hardships in her life and felt directionless. So very accidentally, she saw a footprint in the snow. He wrote 20 lines inspiring from that footprints. And this is known as Footprints in the Sand. You can Google it and you can read it. It is brilliant poetry. And this is poetically resonates with the essence of the Artha Trana Parayan, which we talked earlier. So the whole idea is, one night a man dreamed he was walking along the beach with the Lord. He noticed that always there were two sets of footprints. But he found that during the saddest times of his life, the most difficult period of his life, he saw only one set of footprint. He was very sad and upset. He questioned the Lord or the Ishvara. Hey, where were you when I needed you most? Right? I thought that you will be with me when I needed you most. And the answer was the most brilliant answer. The Lord replied, my child, during the times of your suffering, when you saw only one set of footprints, I was carrying you at that meaning I was carrying you on my shoulder. That is why you notice only one footprint. This is brilliant. This is exactly what we talked earlier. The Artra Trana Parayan. When we feel that we are helpless, when the life treats you badly, when the life is unfair to you, when people are unfair to you, when the situations are difficult to handle, when we see that the whole door around us is closed, know that there is a way out, and that is God's grace. And this is the brilliance of devotion. So before we proceed further, let me request Avanti to add her thought on this shloka.
Yeah. So this shloka just reminds us very strongly of the fact that there are two distinct shores. One is the shore that we are stuck on the shore of mortality and all the million problems that go with that mortal existence of ours. And on the other end, there is the shore of immortality, which transcends anything that can bind us down. And between the two shores is this, I wouldn't say it is a river that promises a crossover, but it is a river that gives humanity, especially being born a human being, the most golden opportunity to use this river to traverse from the shores of mortality to the shores of immortality. It is our once in a lifetime, literally, chance to do it. How many of us take it over? And this particular shloka, when I heard it first, or when I studied it first, or when I understood it first, it gave me goosebumps just with the realization that every bend and every twist of this river as our life is just posing one challenge after another. Barely do we, sit down and pacify one obstacle and another obstacle stands up. And it is impossible for me to think that so many of us, for a large part of our lives, tried to go through this without a roadmap. And there's no doubt about how many problems we face because of it. And we're just looking at this one lifetime. Imagine how many lifetimes we've gone through with the same problems over and over and over again, unable to cross over at all. And really, when we, throughout, not only in the Bhagavad Gita, even Guru Paduka Stotram and all, everywhere God, Guru, is personified as the boatman that carries you from these two shores, between these two shores, from the shores of mortality to the shores of immortality. Again, here I want to reiterate, it is not a particular form of a God or a particular form of a guru who does that. To prove my point, I'd like to remind you that standing next to Arjuna in the battlefield was Swayam Narayana, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, standing next to him. If he wanted, with a click of a finger or with a spin of his finger, he could have changed the entire scene. What was Arjuna's problem? He didn't want to fight that war. He didn't want to kill his loved ones. So Bhagavan himself standing over there, in a jiffy, he could have changed the entire scene. But did he? Did he do anything? He was unarmed. He had no Shastra, Astra in his hands. Yet he taught. The only thing that he did was imparted his teachings. And it was those teachings that empowered Arjuna to get up and fight that inescapable battle of his life. And so it is with all of us. Each one of us has this tremendous battle, whatever our challenges may be. They might look small to somebody else, but we know what our challenges are. And no amount of sitting in front of any God, no amount of worshipping any Bhagavad Gita is going to help us conquer those challenges. It is only the ability to hear that knowledge, to contemplate on that knowledge, and to vociferously, unerringly put those teachings into our life that will change that scene and scenario. So while we may wait for this lifetime and through many lifetimes for some savior, that has been the biggest problem in humanity, right? We are waiting, no matter what religion we are. We are waiting for some savior to come and save us. Well, the savior resides within us. It's knowledge that will reveal that savior from within us. And we ourselves, through the employment of these teachings, have to save ourselves or cross over that shore. Now, Bhagwan Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya, so beautifully in his Bhaja Govindam, he chants this lovely shloka, which says, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jathare Shayanam, Iha Samsare Bahudustare, Kripaya Pare, Pahi Murari. Same verse that we've just studied, shloka, in a different light. What is he saying? What is Adi Shankaracharya saying in that Bhaja Govindam? He's saying, again we are born, again we die, again we find ourselves lying in some strange womb for 9 months. And we're doing the same thing over and over again. And this river that has been described, with all these toxic personas of Duryodhana and Shalya and all these people, the same river we are falling into lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes over. And there is a plea from his heart. Iha samsare, this life, this sansar is too overwhelming. Please please take me to the other side, that shore of immortality. Swami Chinmayananda, who is one of our greatest inspirations for this book, he used to always say that it is impossible to bear the onslaught of existence without taking that daily pill of spirituality. That daily pill of spirituality is taking in this knowledge daily, thinking about it daily, trying to implement it daily. And it is magical. See, these things can't be proven here in a class. You have to try it, and the proof is in the pudding in front of you when you yourself try it. So through our own personal experiences, we can assure you that whatever aspect or whatever teaching we have been able to implement from the Bhagavad Gita essentially in our lives has worked miracles. And that's the only way forward. So don't wait for any savior to come. The savior is the teaching. Time and again, yuge, a avatar has come. That avatar's teachings has re-established righteousness. And that is what we need to now start doing more and more for ourselves. And each of us can do it. Thank you.
Thank you. So the summary is Krishna is the navigator across this life's river. Life present challenges like a meaning to a battle, unexpected, treacherous hurdles will be there always. To navigate that life's journey successfully, we require a skillful guide or a navigator. Krishna's teachings or scriptures, to that matter, any scriptures you follow, that helps you, that is going to be the roadmap. It is going to help you to navigate this battle of life. So surrendering to Ishvara, whenever we say Krishna, it is Ishvara, to enables him to assist us in overcoming any situation we encounter. So with that, let's go to the next shloka. At least a few. So, the reflection. The reflection means the reflection here is life's challenges may be relentless, but with Krishna as our navigator, we can cross it. That's the message. Please have this faith. So let's go to the next shloka, which is a salutation on Mahabharata.
पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाज्ञानगकेसरम् हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसी मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयति.
So this shloka 7, talks about Mahabharata. It is a glorification or a praise of Mahabharata. So we saw, right? First, we talked about Bhagavad Gita. Then we talked about Vyasa. Then we talked about Krishna in a few verses. We have seen the relationship between Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad. And we saw Krishna as a navigator. We saw Krishna as a Jagat Guru. We saw Krishna as an embodiment of Jnana Mudra and action. And now the next shloka talks about Mahabharata. We may not be able to get time to complete this shloka, but at least we will start and we will continue this next week. So this shloka talks about Mahabharata. It tells Parasharya Vachas Sarojam. So the Mahabharata is seen like a lotus, a beautiful lotus with a lot of petals. So how this lotus is born? Parasharya Vachas Sarojam. So this lotus is essentially the words of Parasharya. Parasharya means the son of Parashara. Parashara is the father of Vyasa and his mother is Satyavati, a fisherwoman. We have seen that in the second shloka. So Parasharya represents Vyasa. So the words of this Vyasa forms the Mahabharata. And Amalam means it is pure. Even though the lotus stands in dirt, right? Itself is very pure. That is the beauty. Even when we stay in this world of chaos, we can stay pure. That is the symbolism of lotus. That is why the lotus is known as Pankajam. The word Pankajam is a beautiful word. Pankajam, Panka means dirt, and Jam means born. That which born out of dirt is Pankajam. What born out of dirt may not be good, but here something beautiful. So Parasharya Vachas Sarojam, Amalam, Gitartha Gantotkatam, the Mahabharata lotus, the smell of that Mahabharata lotus, the whole Mahabharata, 87,500 shlokas, the beauty of that Mahabharata is the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Nanakhyanaka Kesaram. Gita is the main, the scent or the smell or the attraction of the Mahabharata, but that is not just limited to Gita. The different petals has countless stories. Nanakhyanaka Kesaram. There are a lot of petals with a lot of stories. There are stories and the upakathas and kathas, and there are countless stories in Mahabharata. And what is the central theme of the Mahabharata? Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhidam. The goal of the Mahabharata is to teach us the story of Hari. Hari is Krishna. Hari means the one who steals all our problems. That is what is Hari. And that is symbolically refers to Krishna. So even though there are thousands of millions of stories, but the central theme of the Mahabharata is Harikatha. And what happened? Loke Sajjana Shatpadai Raharaha Pepiyamanam Muda. It attracts all the good people. All the good people of the universe are considered as bees. They comes to the lotus of Mahabharata to taste this honey of the stories and the Harikatha. And Bhuyat Parada Pankajam Kalimala Pratham Sinashrayasi. This is going to help us, this Bharata Pankajam, the lotus of Mahabharata, is going to help us or to keep us pure, to keep us focused, to keep us navigate in the age of Kali. Because the current age we are living is known as Kali Yuga. The nature of the Kali Yuga itself is like not righteous, right? So that is what is the nature of the Kali Yuga, the Kali Yuga. So this Mahabharata is helping us to stay focused, to stay clean, to stay spiritually uplifting through the Mahabharata. Because this Mahabharata is born out of the verses of the sage Vyasa, and the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita is its fragrance, and thousands of infinite number of stories as its petals. And this Mahabharata got bloomed because of the sun. Usually what happens, it is symbolically said that because of the sun rays, the flower get bloomed. This is a poetic expression, and that sun is the story of Krishna. And this lotus, its fragrance and the honey in that lotus is enjoyed by all the good people. All the good people are attracted by that. And this Mahabharata, it helps us to stay focused, clean, and in the path of dharma during the age of Kali. This is the literal meaning of the shloka. We are going to deep dive into the meaning of the shloka next week, because we are at the top of the hour. So next week we will review this shloka and complete the rest 2 shlokas, and that is going to complete the Gita Dhyanam. And then we can go to chapter 1.